Everything is bigger in Texas, and what a way to prove it by then celebrating with the Big Show. This is 10-4 Broadcasting, sponsored by Admin Box, coming to you live. This is Patrick Morrison, and joining me tonight is Kynan Jones, who we'll be getting to in just a moment. Welcome, race fans. Tonight is the Firecracker 225 at Texas. Located just north of Fort Worth, it is a 1.5-mile track that brings a lot of drivers here for their first NASCAR wins with names like Jeff Burton, Kenny Irwin, Dale Earnhardt Jr. in both the Sprint and Nationwide Series. This race tonight will feature consist of 150 grueling laps. The stages will consist of 30, 60, 90, and 120. There will be stage breaks. Fortunately, if anybody of you have joined the Big Show here tonight, you'll know there's no damage. These cars are self-healing. No yellow flags within any of the stages unless there's some crazy accident that totals, 95% of the field. But they're going to keep going. No one goes a lap down after the stage. Everybody back on track and, back under green. So really, it's a great way to come out here and be able to kind of show what you got and kind of bump and bang around and really not have any repercussions. So accidents do happen, but you don't want it ruining your night, especially since the Big Show is held only once a month. There will be 2 yellow flag maximum, but we'll get to that when we get to the final stage. What you do want to keep an eye out for is that these guys do have only 10 sets of tires, so pit strategy is going to be kind of big on that. Kynan, really, I think what we're going to see tonight is a lot of fast cars, but really, how is the track handling out there for some of these guys?
Early on in the stint, people were complaining about having issues with the car being loose, but as the run will go on, soon we'll be getting issues with the car getting tight, but that's not going to be an issue if we get it around other cars into the picture, especially if they're lap cars. This track has historically been bad for overtaking, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue in tonight's race.
Cool. And actually, something to kind of keep in mind out. I know other drivers out there, we do talk about Landon Gentry a lot, being one of the youngest drivers, his age at 13. But the Big Show has just set a new record for themselves as the new youngest driver. Joseph Martin, I believe out there, he will be, I believe, in the number 1 machine. He is 9 years old. So we're going to see how well he can hold up to the other drivers, and I actually think he might have a slight chance before we get under qualifying to see if we can have a little chat with Joseph Martin. Joseph Martin, do you have a copy? Joe. Don't be gunshot, bud. Man, all right, well, we'll see if he kind of calms down, see if he can get him back under control. He may be kind of getting the jitters before the race, and there's no fear of that. But I know for some of these drivers, what were they saying? Krober, Nerwoski, and Brian Wasserman, they said are really the 3 guys to kind of keep an eye out for. Now, let me see if I can get Wasserman up here and see if Brian in the number 50 car is available. Brian Wasserman, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy. How y'all doing?
There we go. All right, somebody with a radio that's rocking. Hey, man, how you feeling about the track here tonight?
It feels pretty darn good, actually. I think we're gonna have a good run. Should have some pretty good grip.
Okay, cool. What are you noticing out there? Are you having any trouble in 1 and 2? Like Ray Garcia says he's having a little trouble with, and what do you? I mean, everyone's expecting to win, but what are you expecting to kind of get out of the truck tonight?
With regards to 1 and 2, the entry into 1 is so critical. If you don't have that just right, the carry through the middle of the turn and exiting 2 can be absolutely deplorable. So entry is everything on that to get it to rotate correctly around there. Other than that, the rest of it, you just pedal all the way to the floor as long as you can until you wear out the tires, and then you got to baby it a bit.
Okay. Well, I know you guys are running only about, they said 10 sets of tires. It does seem like a lot, but for 150 laps, they can start dwindling away there pretty fast. Are you going to look into some pit strategy later on in the race, maybe only taking 1 sides, or are you going to, play it safe and take 4 almost every time?
You know what? No, actually, I toyed around with 2 tire stops last night a couple different times, and if you had 15, 20 laps on the tires, the fall-off wasn't too bad on the left as compared to the right, so you could throw right sides on and have some luck with it. But it just depends on how long the run is in between stops. But, two tires is an option, if it's going to keep you track position or gain a bit.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, some of these guys at practice, I know Ray Garcia and a lot of these other guys, they really put a lot of time into the track practicing everything like this. I mean, between you and your crew chief and your spotter, I mean, you guys feeling pretty confident, like you're going to have a strong car? I mean, you're going to make a call out for like your top 5, or you think, you're looking for a solid top 10 here tonight?
But yeah, top 5 for sure. You
okay,
bet.
Good.
We might even have something for the win.
All right, awesome, buddy. Well, we'll let you get back to practicing there. I think y'all will be under qualifying here in about 5 minutes. Let you suit up and get underway.
10-4 sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Oh man, that was Brian Wasserman there. So really, like I said, one of those fan favorites there, kind of to see if he can really get out there and put that out there. But I believe TJ Krober, I do not see him in the chat at all. Because, man, I'd like to get a little chat with him. I know I tried to get Joe in here, and he had a cat got his tongue and maybe a little nervous. So we'll wait. We'll see if we can catch up to him before the green flag drops. See if we can find anybody else. How about Jonah Long? I see he's out there looking pretty good. Jonah Long, do you got a copy?
I copy.
Oh, man. We're kind of taking a look at you kind of riding around this track here. You kind of... it seems you're trying a few different lines here, kind of that low line, mid line sort of deal. What do you find is working the best for you with the practice time winding down here?
It's more of the lone line, as long as I don't have dirty air.
Okay, so you're feeling the car's pretty strong. I mean, it seems you're hooking okay, but, are you finding more speed with that clean air and kind of hanging back, or is it best to, really kind of tighten up behind these cars and stay behind them?
If you want to stay with the lead pack, it would be best to stay with the lead pack. It would be best to stay with them, but you would have to deal with the dirty air. If you want to go a little bit faster, I would back off and just let the clean air kind of kick in.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, we're really excited, and and you being part of one of the admin team trucks out here, that's got to be pretty exciting. Boy, that guy behind you is getting a little loose. So, yeah, I mean, really, what are you looking forward to out of the race this much? I know kind of some people say the money, some people saying having a full crowd, with a lot of trucks out on the pavement tonight. What are you looking forward to the most?
I just kind of want to finally get into the Big Show Hall of Fame.
Ah, okay. Okay, the Big Show Hall of Fame. And man, I think only really a few drivers have been in there, and I think one of them is being inducted tonight, and I believe we'll be getting to him here pretty soon. But man, really, keep your car clean out there. I mean, I know it's going to be kind of tough. Some of the other drivers have been saying this. The car's getting loose, and the right sides are starting to really kind of get squishy on them. So, take care of those right side tires there, Jonah, and we'll get back to you later on in the race.
Thank you, guys.
Man, and Jonah, he is another one of those young drivers. I believe he is 15, I believe. Don't take my word on that, but I know I'm not. He may be another one of those drivers out there that doesn't have his driver's license yet there, Kynan, but is out here racing on iRacing, really being able to, lay the rubber down.
iRacing has definitely been a bit of a foundation just to help bridge the sense of reality and still keep that sense of gaming. So it's just helping to thrust some younger drivers into the spotlight, and if they continue to grow in this sport, well, I mean, you can call it a sport now with how people have started in iRacing and have started to make it into the real life world of racing. So you can say it's just a game, but the amount of skills that you can pick up from this simulator isn't real.
Yeah, I totally believe that. William Byron would be one of them. So, he came from iRacing, even the guys in the off-season. Your Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, I believe they even were considering there may be a possibility of some real NASCAR drivers out here tonight, but we'll kind of keep an eye out there and see if any of those guys show up. If so, we're definitely going to try to see if we can get a word in with them and see what, how this compares to really racing with real trucks out there. But, this is going to be an exciting race to me, even though, the stage breaks and everything else, it allows the field to clump back up, Kynan, and really be able to keep everyone in a group. Because to me, everyone kind of running single file and everyone getting spread out over half or 3/4 of the track. Man, I really like them when they get 2-3 wide, getting, pushed into these hard banking turns that are, upwards of 18 to 20 degrees. And be able to, get this thing to stay hooking and not contacting each other. To me, that is the fun in racing. Some people like the crashes, but that's what I enjoy the most.
I mean, even though it's Texas, and yes, it hasn't been the best for racing in the past, but it's going to be tight. Currently in practice, first and second have ran a 29.798. So it may be a difficult track to pass, but it's going to be close still.
Yeah, and really, it's being able to get that right line. I mean, I think your qualifying is going to be your biggest determination of where you're going to be for most of this race. You do have to really let the tires heat up, and Ray Garcia has found a lot of that. Kind of really how to qualify. Some of these guys, if you go and dive low line the first time and then low line the second time, you don't get that time quite as fast, and he seems to have it broken down as he's taken multiple poles, really throughout the year to qualify in that top, that number one position. And tonight might just be another night of Ray Garcia going in and setting that pole. But I'm not sure if he is the one who thinks he has the strongest car out here tonight. And we'll see if we can get a word in here with Ray, as I believe practice is getting ready to wind down, and we'll be into qualifying. Let's see, Ray, you got a copy?
Hi, copy of driver. Hi, copy you guys. How's it going today?
It's going all right, Ray. Man, and another great job by the Big Show here hosting again. I can't be any more excited than I am now of seeing what you guys are going to bring to us tonight. What are the things I should be looking for tonight?
Well, first, this is my latest chassis for Texas. This is my V5 chassis, so it's quicker than my previous version. The truck is very stable. We're looking for long runs of 15 to 16 laps before we're going to need some tires. But you'll see that pit window open for you at right about lap 14. You'll see some of the leaders. We'll probably dive in around 14, and that'll start spreading itself out over 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Okay, excellent. Now I was going to say, and you set up all these trucks every month, right?
That's correct. I work on all the chassis for the Toyota, the Chevy, and the Ford.
Wow, okay. I mean, and I know that's time-consuming just setting one vehicle up, but setting up all three makes, that's definitely a feat and very time-consuming. Everyone, I'm sure, really appreciates that. But really what you have to appreciate is you being able to consider, shortening the fuel span and how many tires. So it's not just the side-by-side racing. It's also going to come down to pit strategy to really bring this win home in the bag.
Yes, tire management is going to be the key to this victory. More so than fuel, because this track is very, very abrasive on tires. So you have a lot of tire wear that could really affect your race. So if you're staying down, like in 1 and 2, if you're trying to run that low line too long, you'll cook off your tires, you'll start to slide on the exits, and you'll lose time versus gaining time. So taking care of these tires is going to be critical. So you want to pay attention to the guys who are running the low line versus the guys who are running the mid line to the high lines early on, and watch how that changes just before the pit strategy starts. You'll see that the guys who run the mid line will be faster than those guys on the low line at the tail end of a tire run.
Okay. And I was going to say, speaking of which, we were discussing before about Jonah Long making it into the Hall of Fame, and I believe you are entering the Hall of Fame tonight, are you not?
Yes, tonight I get inducted for winning the last race, the Memorial 125. Was my first victory at the Big Show. As I indicated last time, I put these races on for 2.5 years, and I've never won the main events. I've always won the practice races during the month, but when it came to the main event, I just couldn't win it. But I finally got that victory at 125 laps up at the ISS, and it doesn't look like I'm going to sit on pole. I ran too slow. Wow.
Dang, horrible. Yeah, that put you 11th.
I ran an 892 in practice. Now I just went a 30.169. I lost it in turn 2.
Yeah, we saw you getting a little tacked up there, and I was wondering if a little bit of that track temp dropping down to 67 degrees is kind of playing up with you there.
Yeah, it caught up with me.
Yeah, but
so with the Hall of Fame, if anybody who wins one of our 125s gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. So tonight, in addition to the cash prizes, the winner will be inducted into our Hall of Fame, but just before the next race next month.
Oh wow! I was gonna say, and tell me who are some of the other ones who you're going to be joining in this Hall of Fame?
Well, we have Tim Pope. He's on track today, so we have previous champ on track. We have Josh Bittner in the '84 champion. Kelly Keel. They're not racing tonight. We have our only two-time winner, Landon Gentry, in the '33. He'll be on track tonight, looking for his third 100-lap victory. He'll be the first to get the third if he can get it. That's a pretty remarkable feat, given the company he's in on track. Myself, J.D. Kazaza, who won the Talladega race, and we have there's one other nice. He's slipping my mind right now. He's going to kill me too.
Yeah, I think some of the drivers you were talking about taking a lookout out there, seeing if T.J. Krober, Wasserman, and I believe another one, Shook. I'm not sure if is he on the track here tonight. I've been kind of trying to see if I can find him out here.
Let's see.
The '94 car, I think.
Shook is. I don't see. Yes, he's in the '94.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some guys to watch out for. TJ has had a great month here at Texas. He's got several wins, several poles, several stage wins. So right now he's on odds-on favorite overall. Eric Naroski is his teammate from the N Honor Racing League, and he's running a good second to TJ. So keep an eye on those two cars. They're painted similarly. That's the 48 and the 88. Brian Wasserman, Travis Turnmeyer. These are names to watch. Chad Waller. And Anthony Shook. Anthony Shook's been running top 3 all month, and even had a couple shots at winning. But you know how it goes. At the end of the race, he gets tangled up with someone, and it costs him the win. But keep an eye on Anthony Shook. He'll be up front all race.
Okay. Yeah, we will, and we'll definitely do that. As we're kind of taking a little peek here of Michael Wiley, who's actually spending his first lap coming out of pit. Warming up his tires using the entire track. So I wonder if he's trying to something a little different here to see if he can get these things tacked up and get underway. But man, really, you were. How did you find maybe the fastest to qualifying time? I know you kind of fumbled a little bit this time, but really, what's the key to really get fast times around here tonight?
The key at Texas is to heat the tires. So when you come out of pit road, you want to spend the next lap and a half just warming the tires without sliding them. So you don't want to hit 1 and 2 on that first lap and a half out. You don't want to hit that thing full tilt, because once you start to go sideways, the tires wear. But on that last lap, it'll stick like glue going around 1 and 2. So that's what Michael's doing, is heating the tires, and then he'll run that last lap, and it will stick really, really nicely when you come out of 1 and 2.
Yeah,
so that is the big key. Just it's heat in the tires.
Yeah, and he's got to be hoping for a fast time here, because we're kind of taking an onboard ride here. Man, he has got just a blistering speed right now. At least for us, it looks like he's really getting a good scoot going on here. So, but yeah, Ray, we really appreciate everything for you, bud. I'm going to send you back down to pit road with the rest of the guys and see if you can get Joseph Martin. We tried to get a little chat in with him, and I wasn't sure if he was a little gun shy about coming up here and talking to us. So we'll let you get back to it, bud.
Right on. Okay, and then looks like Tim Pope Michael Wiley there it is. One of my admins, 890. See what I tell you about those tires?
Oh yeah. That's what I was saying. We took an onboard ride. He was flying, man. He was going really fast. So.
Yeah. So like
wow.
we do a lot of practice, so it pays off on these races.
That it does, and every time we get once a month we come see you guys. That's what we see, a lot of those admin cars up front. But practice makes perfect, and that just shows us here tonight.
Right. So congrats. Let me congrats our drivers, and we'll catch up with you guys.
All right.
Call me up if you need me for anything. Just call me back up.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Right. All righty.
Yeah, really. Wow. And yeah, Ray Garcia there. I mean, just, the admin of the league being able to put this thing down here, kind of. I know I really let you get a word in edgewise, bud. So, let me go ahead and let you talk.
One thing that I found just from watching how the qualifying times were done, Michael Willie ended up posting a 181 on the speed trap, but everyone behind 182, 183, even 184. So, even though he put the fastest lap, he wasn't the fastest in the speed trap.
Really? Yeah, normally you think, speed makes perfect. Do you think just he had a better race line? I mean, like I said, he just barely beat him. He beat him by 7 thousandths of a second.
Yep, from first to 10th, covered within a 10th, so it's gonna be close.
Wow. Wow. And it's just, and you just, you kind of take a peek at what in the world and how close these things are getting. And let me see if I can, pull up real quick. I have that my little ticker here. As you see, here are your top 4 at how close these guys got to one another. I mean, these guys are all within, a tenth of a second. I mean, just a blistering speed here as we get to Gregory Rick. So here are the top 7. I mean, just how close these guys are to getting under, to speed-wise. So, I mean, you just see one little hiccup or maybe a little degree off the wheel and you've fallen off by so much. But really, it's going to be close. It's going to be close racing here. As you can see, fastest time under 30 seconds. But still, I mean, we got 150 laps to go. And we haven't even started lap 1 and we're already trying to predict the end of the race. So I don't know if that's, really the wisest thing to be doing here at this point. But man, really, we appreciate everybody joining us here at 10-4 Broadcasting here for the Firecracker 225. So this is going to be a blast. I know it says a 2-hour open race practice time, and I've been there for most of it. But man, these guys have been really practicing. You see them getting a little bit more, getting a little bit less. Some guys having to make some tweaks, and really even practicing kind of for all month, getting this thing right, getting it how you want it, and right at the end, you're still having to tweak it just a little more to get it under control. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough. You can put in all the practice you want, but practice doesn't make perfect, but it can do a really good job in making it so you can just edge out and feel exactly what the car is going to do at each given point. But it doesn't make you a driving god, but it will make you a very, very good driver.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how far or what we can get out of these guys here tonight. This is going to be tough. I think, some people that are used to the speedways, a lot of these guys, we've seen them on the super speedways. We've seen them, Talladega, where you can get these things 4 wide, no problem. I know that sounds crazy, just from our angle, 4 wide, no problem, bumping and banging a little bit. Daytona, I mean, they squeeze them 3 wide there. Here, it's going to be a lot different. I mean, we're going to shave off by a mile, and now it's going to all depend on how your turn entry is going to be, and really what you can accomplish to get around these turns. And I believe we have 25 drivers tonight, so really a great turnout for a lot of these drivers being able to kind of pile up here and see, what we can get done and actually make this thing go around here tonight, kind of. So, I mean, a beautiful night to be racing. Appreciate everybody showing up here at 10-4 Broadcasting. Little shout out there to Admin Box. One of those things that I'm trying to get Ray Garcia to look into is one of the admin boxes they have out there. It's a plug and play USB button box that goes next. It goes next to your rig or next to your steering wheel, things like that. And if you're a league leader or an owner or things like that, that you are able to control the black flags that iRacing may not put out that you want. You can throw out the cautions that, like you'll see tonight, which will have the stages at 30, 60, 90, and 120. And you'll be able to kind of control the race. If somebody says that, I was coming down pit road and all of a sudden it says pit road closed. I've had that happen before, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. As now I'm black flagged, I'm running top 5, and that should have never happened. In admin box, that's what will stop that kind of thing from happening and be able to get you back on track. So take a look at it. Admin box, that's with 2 X's, and you will actually give you a coupon code if you use us. It's 10-4-box with 2 X's, and that should knock it down to about 125. I know some people don't know, but no. Most button boxes you look at are somewhere in the $350 range. This is not cheap. It's good quality, and you might want to go take a look at it. So check them out on Facebook and on adminbox.com. Kynan, we are about to go under green flag. Michael Wiley up there in front. I mean, really somebody I like keeping a lookout for, and I hate giving him the commentator's curses, Timothy Pope. I've seen him run up top. I know he got tangled up at Talladega, worked his way back up, got totaled out again, worked his way back. I mean, really, I think he comes here and he just enjoys flossing through how many cars he can get a hold of here. But really, we'll kind of see how they get to go as we are under green flag here in just a moment. Kynan, take it away.
As we come to the green flag zone, we are back or going onto green for the first time of 150 laps. So far, the drivers are keeping it clean, just trying to figure out where they want to put their car going to turn 1 as the 90 goes up inside of the 98 as up in front. We are going mostly single file, some drivers starting to get up the inside and others trying to make it around the outside. Just trying to find their positioning, and just some may try to settle down, just try to run clean. Others are going to be trying to push up to the front.
Man, and yeah, right there. And we're taking a quick look here at Blanca Gonzalez here in the, I believe, the 58 car. Really kind of pushing on the backside of that 48. Giving him good shove, letting him know he's there, but got to be careful and stay out of the grass. No, they were pretty adamant about the starts of these races. If they want to keep it double wide, they can keep it double wide, but not 3 wide. It's very hard to do to stay 3 wide. Especially on fresh tires. And man, that is just not what you want to see to begin out the start of this race. I know everyone looks for the big one. You know, the big show always never fails. They always seem to have a little weird thing going on here and there. But, well, man, really what these guys are able to do. Anthony Shook worked his way back up to the 2nd position. And if you notice, Timothy Pope, my guy who I normally call out, he's actually down back to the 4th, 5th position here. So maybe playing a little more conservative, kind of taking that middle lane. I don't blame him for that. But really digging here early, I mean, wow. He's got to be careful as he gets right in front of the 88. I guess the 88 car of their Krober is really trying to get up there to his teammate who's running in 2nd.
Looking a little bit further back for the 10th position, the 84 on the outside of the 7, just trying to find their position, both admins of this race, so they're just going to be trying to figure out where they can really put their car and try set themselves up best for the end of the race.
Yeah, and really, these admins, it's not like favoritism. It's guys who spend a lot of time together, spend the entire month practicing this track with each other together like a normal race team would in NASCAR. And get these cars set up and ready to roll around. They help give Ray some input, Ray gives them some input, and they get these cars dialed in just right to get these things around the track. But really, no incidents really so far to see anything happening here, which is really good because normally, you don't like seeing cars getting mashed to pieces. But, looks like Ray Garcia already fallen off by a few spots here. He's already back here in the 16th position. So he may be trying to kind of bide his time here, roll on back. I don't know. I know some of these cars are kind of falling back here a little bit. Do you think it's possible that Ray may be able to get? I mean, I know it's a long shot and it's going to be a long way out here, Kynan. Do you think Ray has a chance of getting a solid top 10 tonight?
I mean, right now, anything's possible, especially this early on in the race. Remember, it's 150 laps. We're only on lap 7. We're going to have multiple stage cautions where everyone, if you do go multiple laps down, you get brought back onto the lead lap. So no harm, no foul. So anything can happen. He could even win if he puts himself in the right position in the end.
Yeah, and really, who's not in the right position is Michael Wiley there. He's now rolled back to the 5th position. So talk about a crazy turn of events. I mean, we're only about 8 laps into this thing, and he's already dialed it back to 5th position. So, to me, it just goes to show you, qualifying time, you may be fast during qualifying, but that doesn't mean you can lay that lap down every single time you come out here. As we only discussed, he was only ahead by about a few thousandths of a second. But really, he's still pushing it and making sure he's getting his way back up there in the 4th position, taking Eric Nowaski and putting him in the rearview mirror and going ahead and keeping on going. But really, this should put the 2 teammates next to each other, and I would expect the 48 and the 88 to team up here in a little bit and probably take a different line than most of these drivers.
The 48 has been quick in practice and so far looking quick in the race. So far, he's posted the fastest lap so far, but too early to really call. The 98 back in 13th was fastest in practice also, but just had a bad qualifying, and he's trying to make his way up the field.
Yeah, and as Ray was talking about before, we do want to kind of keep out for our lap count. It says lap 10. They are saying fuel will only go about between 14 and 19 laps at maximum. So that does mean they are going to have to pit at least once to make it to this stage break. But if you pit lap 14 and get a full tank of fuel, that still may or may not mean you make it to lap 30. So it may be a stretch. I don't know if anybody will come down on 14. I would probably figure a conservative 16 is where I think people may go, but we're just in the booth and y'all are watching with us, so we'll have to see how it goes here, kind of.
Just watching back around 12th, 11th position between the three admins, 98 did get a little bit tight and almost came up into the 84, but just managed to keep it off each other as the 50 is looking to get past. So looks like tire wear is already starting to become a factor. So some drivers are probably going to look to pit a little bit earlier than others. I'd want to pit around lap 18 just to have a bit of a tire advantage in the end.
Yeah, and you kind of see Wasserman there. We're kind of taking a peek at him in that 50 car. You can see that aggressive move there. He's not real happy about being hung out to dry on that outside line with the 98 staying underneath of him. I knew, you could see he wanted that inside line, but he just had a fender on that guy, so he's going ahead and pushed his way around, moved himself up into the 12th position, and gone ahead and working his way up. That way he can get a hold of Jamie Shaw and Gregory Ricks here. But right now in the lead, we have Anthony Shook going ahead and pulling around. But boy, as we clip just over there, looks like some little bumping and banging getting around up front here as Anthony Shook marches his way back down to third. He may be coming into pit. He's got to slow down and be very, very careful. See if anybody slides coming in. Looks like everybody A-OK, good to go. All right, looks good. And we'll rotate up here to Timothy Pope as he's taking the lead. Go ahead, Akina.
Right as people were coming in, there was a bit of netcode between the 50 and the 87, just causing a little bit of damage, but luckily damage being disabled, there shouldn't be any issues, and they managed to keep the momentum. Lost a couple positions, but too early to really be any issue right now.
Yeah, as you speak of the 50, he's going ahead and working his way down pit road now. So really, that more conservative line, going ahead and taking that right about 15 laps halfway and going ahead and working your way back up. Still in the lead, Timothy Pope, Michael Wiley, Blanca Gonzalez, and Chad Waller. They're in the top four so far. I believe Kim Kraus is on the 99, is going ahead and rounding up our top five, kind of staying out there. But as you look at here, that 99 car is already 3 seconds back. Oh, dog, as he gets slowed down enough for pit. Yeah, we'll have to see. Kind of take it easy on that one, as that slide move kind of working his way inside. I mean, better doing it on old tires, but even harder to do it on old tires if I don't know any better. But really, we don't have a whole lot of guys left who haven't pit. I believe only the top four here haven't. It looks like Robert Amaral back there. He hasn't pit either in the 77. So Timothy Pope going ahead and taking the better half. So he's thinking maybe go ahead and keep those tires fresh, running there toward the end. So if you figure if you take tires now, and then at the stage break, this is going to start adding up here pretty quick, because you're going to actually run out of tires before you get to the end. It looks like Anthony Shook still lapped down. He's got to work his way around and get back up in front. So got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. It looks like Gonzalez is our leader at the moment. Maybe trying to play a little pit strategy here. Still has yet to pit. So we'll kind of keep an eye out on that. If this 58 car either decides to come in or is going to be one of the few cars that wants to ride this out longer, take right side tires and get out in front. I knew Gonzalez was actually doing really well, staying up there in the top 8. And then I don't know how this is going to play off later in the end, seeing that only Gonzalez here is the only one on the lead lap. Everybody else is a lap down at this point. So this is going to kind of play a weird role here, Kynan, as I believe that the lap times, you're starting to see a punishing time here of a 31-1. I mean, they've got to pit like now, to keep from losing time.
One lap after the number I thought that I would have wanted to go in, so he's gonna have a bit of a tire advantage in the end, which can help him gain those extra couple positions. But track position is also going to be a factor, so he's going to have to drive like a maniac if he wants to claw his way back up through the field.
Yeah, and we'll kind of take an eye on him here in pit road and see how this goes. Yep, well, looks like one-side tires. Go ahead and get enough fuel to make it to the end here and see if we can go in and squirt back on out of pit road. But really, what I think you're going to notice here is that long run may or may not help, as it looks like, as you can see, Gonzalez already starting to work the way back. Remember, you're going to have older tires on the left, but yeah, going ahead and working the way back. Gonzalez now in the 5th position and marching back. So this is going to be a little bit of trouble. Definitely not for a stage win, but I just don't know if the 2-tire stop is really going to be the best choice here tonight, Kynan.
It's a bit hard to say right now. It's going to be a risk, especially if you got into a rhythm where you're used to it. The car is going to be a lot looser, especially in 1 and 2 in particular. So he's just going to have to be careful with the car until he feels what the car is going to be like. But we see the 50 and the 54 just fly past him on the inside. So seems like right now it hasn't worked out, but hopefully once he gets up speed and feel what the car is going to be like, he should start working his way through the field.
Yeah, as we're coming up on only about 9 laps to go before our first stage break. I'm assuming everybody comes back in. Debates of whether they want to take only right sides and fuel at that time or just fuel and go back out there. I think it's going to be a lot of strategy here, whether to, when to take tires and when not. I mean, if we have 4 stages and only, 10 sets of tires, you see him taking 2 in the middle and 1 at the other one. I mean, somebody's going to have to not take tires at some point to make this to the end.
Personally, I'd want to take no tires early on in the race. You've got the most time to be able to make up then, and if something does happen, you're not going to be as punished as badly. So I'd want to take no tires early on, get that over and done, so then you can have those extra couple tires, which could make the difference in the end.
Yeah, and I completely agree with that. It may be, in the first and second stage, I would probably take maybe 1 set of tires each stage just to, keep this thing competitive. Because when you start getting to that, you're at that 90-120 mark, and from there on out, if there is a caution, if there is one, it'll be after 120, and that's when you're going to want the tires. That's when things are going to start getting messed up. People may start skidding out, and you want to make sure you've just got that extra set. I call it ace up the sleeve. What people don't expect and what, you may have the upper hand at some point here, kind of. But really, I mean, practically just about no incident race. I've seen a couple bumps and bangs here, but, I mean, no cautions, no cars sliding through the infield. I mean, really, a lot of clean racing here so far.
Yeah, luckily Texas does kind of lend a hand in that, being a more single-file groove track, so it means that drivers are going to have to be aggressive, but just getting to the rear bumper is going to be a lot harder. It could also just be that they know it's a longer run, so they don't want to make enemies now, which then could retaliate later on in the race.
Yeah, and we kind of looked there just a little bit. Gonzalez, really in that 58 car, having a lot of trouble getting around the track. Kind of bit that back wall there a little bit. I'm wondering if we're starting to have some hook problems, or maybe just got slid up the track a little too much. But that definitely starting to cost us. We're 14th and working our way back. So really kind of praying for that stage break and go back in and get the tires that you should have gotten. But hey, it's all a gamble, man. We gotta make this thing to the end, and we still have a long way to go. As another one to kind of look at is Gregory Ricks, another one of the admins back here in the 18th position. I don't know if he's having a little trouble getting his way up there, but he seems to be doing all right, kind of getting around there pretty well. But man, it's just some of these guys. It's Texas is a hit or a miss. You can you either got it or you don't. Or some people, it's just can you get to that next stage? And and also joining him, I believe, is also Charles Fletcher back there in the 67 car. So, I mean, a couple of the admins really, you know, not where you would expect them to be. As we'll take a peek, let's see where Ray Garcia ends so far, and he's in the 16th position, just a little farther. So I don't know if, you know, just a little trouble here to get these guys wound up. But we're still in the first stage. We still got, you know, 3 laps to go before the caution comes out, and then we'll have to see really how this thing winds up.
Timothy Pope was able to retake the lead as the pit lane entrance has been closed now, so we shouldn't see any more pit stops unless someone gets spun in. So where you see the drivers right now is likely where they're going to be finishing as we're coming to the white flag.
Yeah, and we got looking back there the way Landon Gentry, he's hanging back there in the 23rd position. And really kind of a heck of a battle here going in the 2nd and 3rd position. Looks like Shook may be starting to get a little bound up there on the outside. Got to be careful, man, because you know those tires are starting to wear in for the second half here. So there we go. It looks like the stage end is complete, and that should go ahead and throw out that caution. It looks like Timothy Pope may go ahead and win that next stage. So you know he's got to be excited about that, winning that next round.
Gonna give him a lot of confidence, but now it also comes with its downsides. You're gonna be the one making the strategy gambles first. People are gonna see what you do, so they'll see that you'll either take right tires only or that you'll take all 4 tires, which then someone may try to capitalize. But someone that I'm very curious by is the 58. He was a second off the pace consistently after his pit stop, so maybe he didn't take tires or something happened, but just no pace on that final stint.
Yeah. Well, I took a peek at him on pit lane. I did see the side go up and then kind of pop back down, so I know at least 2 tires were gotten. But, man, you just see the difference in what 4 and 2 tires get you. You just see the fall-off was just so bad, and I'm just wondering, you know, if only right sides were taken, you know, really, do the lefts matter? Some of these guys are saying lefts are a joke. You know, you really don't have to worry about them, as I believe everybody's coming down pit road. So right now, stage 1 winner is Timothy Pope, and that means he takes home $20 just for winning that one. Michael Wiley there in the 2nd position, he won the pole, so he got $10 for that one. So really an exciting run here. I mean, we already got guys winning money and pretty excited, but, you know, this wouldn't all be possible without a lot of these guys being able to donate here. We got Waller Racing, Travis Turnmeyer, Chuck Fletcher, Ray Garcia, EN Honor Racing, Douglas Ross Jr., Timothy Pope, Greg Blazin, Brian Wasserman, and Scott Patza. I mean, these guys are all donating to make this thing happen and make this thing work for everyone here tonight. And to me, it's really exciting to see these guys, you know, really promote. They don't just, you know, believe in racing. They also believe in the big show and really, you know, catching everybody's eye, coming out here and watching and seeing what these guys can do here. But really, what a blast this has been so far. And really, you know, and these guys being able to keep this thing together, you know, really, because I mean, I know some people, you know, tuned in to the big show here and here with 10-4 Broadcasting. And, you know, sometimes it almost seems like a mash-em-up fest, as Stella out there in the chat saying, nice to see a clean race, even with no damage and no one's pushing around. We do see it does kind of end up with a pile-up sometimes. You get some guys, just a slight miscommunication between them and their spotter, or, man, I thought they were right there and they weren't, and then, you know, they kind of clip each other, and things get turned around and bad things happen all at once. But, you know, really, nothing really getting banged around or pushed around there, but really, This is crazy.
The only real bit of contact that there was between the 84 and the 50, but that was mainly netcode that had caused it, so relatively clean. So
yeah, but like I said, I mean, when's the last time you saw Texas's infield without 4 tires sliding through the grass?
It's been a while. I was involved in an official crash that made me flip, so that wasn't fun, but haven't seen anyone do that here tonight, so been a good race so far.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of good race, being able to get a bunch of these other guys out here, you know, I'm hoping to see some of these admins. It looks like Ray Garcia has him and 2 of his other admin guys behind him. As we talked before, with Charles Fletcher, Landon Gentry behind him. I mean, just some of these guys are just getting caught up. Maybe some of these things. Gregory Ricks behind him. I mean, I'm wondering if maybe these guys are hanging back, trying to take it easy, and seeing what they can make happen to get around this track.
Definitely seems like there was some drivers that were just taking it easy, not wanting to push the matter when they didn't need to. But when it comes towards the last 50 laps, I'd say, we're not going to see that. It's going to be winner takes all. No one has a chance. But at the same time, everyone will have a chance.
Yeah, and really, Michael Wiley being able to get a good start there. Don't forget, everybody has to start in that weird restart zone that a lot of people don't get used to so far. But Wasserman working his way up, 7th position, looking good. We did see it kind of stack up there pretty tight and see if anybody can get around there. But really, back under green flag. Man, great racing here so far. It looks like we're already starting to stack it up 3 wide, but Gregory Ricks is around into the infield. So he might have gotten banged up there a little bit. But fortunately, no damage, to these cars. Back on track. So Brian Wasserman doing a great job staying up front, staying out of trouble. Man, he's got to watch some of these guys here behind him here, Kynan. If really, if you want to survive and stay out front, you just got to be careful.
Yeah, you do, but at the same time, you also need to be aggressive, especially on these restarts. It's the best time that you'll be able to make positions, but at the same time, if you're too aggressive, it's also the easiest and best way to lose positions at the same time.
Yeah, really, just something to see. I mean, everyone's got a different race line. Everyone tries to maintain kind of the same area, but it's all on your turn entry and really where you want to be. We're going to take a little ride along here with Ray Garcia and see how he handles this track here. Yeah, as you kind of see there, as he's getting around some of these turns, man, you just see how that wheel's kind of shaking in him. Now, I know you're looking way up there into turn 2 and everything, placing your spots. But, man, just trying to make this thing hook and stay where you want it.
Drivers have already started to single file, so it seems like they're just trying to get through some of the laps cleanly, just keep it all clean. No real reason to push the matter, and sometimes it's better to just ride like they are right now. It means they can save fuel and save tire, which will benefit them in the long run.
Yeah, really, what an interesting race line he's kind of taking here. You see everybody kind of in tow there trying to chase him down. But, it's you kind of wish it almost seems like there's more speed underneath the hood of that truck. It's just something seems like it's holding it back to get this thing going. Boys, it looks like Wasserman gets a little loose there. Ray Garcia almost clips him. Yeah, it looks like it may be a battle there toward the inside. But they started hitting that front stretch and that back wall and starting to get a little bit of trouble. Oh, boys, yeah. We see a couple of drivers there in the back kind of getting bumped and banged around there a little bit. But real quick shout out there to the chat with Stellar Stella. Yeah, I don't know about just yet. Well, I think we're going to have a pretty big one coming up here. These guys are getting a little antsy. They got through the first 30. And, I think everybody's starting to get a little testy now. We're starting to get kind of figure out what they're looking to do. Because, man, there are some cars that are a little slower than others, the ones that are a little faster, and everybody wants the same piece of real estate. So it's going to be a heck of a push here, Kynan, to get their way up front. As you can see, Blanca Gonzalez in that 58 has gone ahead and worked back up to the 5th position. So really overcoming, probably got 4 tires on that last stop and going ahead and pushing back forward.
Someone else who isn't wanting to stick around and just hang back right now, up in 2nd place, is the 94. Managed to get past Pope fairly simply, but now is chasing after the 48 for the lead.
Yeah, and really the 48, setting that pole time, but really at one point last stage he set the pole and then actually got worked back pretty far. And I don't know if he's doing a pretty good job blocking here on Anthony Shook, in the 94, but it seemed to be kind of keeping it, okay and everything. Michael really having that fresh air and staying out front, I know has got to be key here at Texas. rather than drafting behind somebody. But these guys may have to work together. I mean, he hasn't left by much here, kind of. And really, we still got a lot to go. We're probably 10 laps on these tires. So, really, I mean, they got a little bit to go, and then they'll have to pit here probably in 5 or 6 laps. So, you think you'd have to kind of bide your time, take it easy, work their way around. But, really, I like seeing the amount of pushing and shoving I got going on out here, especially back here with Heath Rutherford in the 98, I believe. As we take a quick look at him here, I believe, on the outside of Chad Waller in the 66. So really a battle there, and he may link up with another one of his admins. Looks like Jonah Long is going to go ahead and line up behind him in that crazy Sevens car. As he's working around here. But man, it's just kind of biding your time there and being able to work your way around, as it looks like Timothy Pope is getting ready to see another change for the lead right there in front of him.
94 is just trying to put the front wheel towards the boiler just to try take some of the air and run it over to produce some downforce, just to slow down the 48 on the straight, as the 48 was able to carry a lot more momentum, giving the 94 a bit of a bump through the tri-oval.
Yeah, and we are definitely seeing them kind of stacking up here, as we're going to take a little look at Krober here. Oh, dog, as it looks like Gonzalez, the 58, gets turned around. There we go. There's what everybody I think was looking for, as we are totaling about half the field there, ladies and gentlemen. Fortunately, no damage. We are mixed up. But I think that is enough to go ahead and draw a replay there and see what in the world happened. I saw the 58 got loose, but I'm not quite sure why, how, or if something happened. If the 99 got underneath him or something. But let's take a quick little peek here, as we are under our little replay here. There's not going to be a caution there, so we're getting a little 10-4 guy out of the way. Oh boy. Yeah, that 99 car of Kraus there kind of got him bent out of shape. Spun him around. Wow, not where you want to be there. Yeah, it looks like a couple of cars, but kind of, what is the best part, even if you get in an accident like this? You remember?
Well, it brings you away from the drama that could happen. It will mix things up, but it will also kind of throw a bit of a wrench into what strategy you'll end up taking.
Oh man, come on, you can do better than that. You don't go a lap down, and next stage you're back in it, baby. I mean, there's no damage. We just got to worry about tires, and just think, man, at lap 60, these guys will be back on the lead lap, even if they just got messed up real bad, steering's messed up, things like that. These guys are still be on the lead lap. So as you can see, I believe Jamie Shaw has gone ahead and worked his way down the pit. Kraus is now a lap down. So yeah, a lot of these guys going ahead and pitting now. But man, this will be a perfect opportunity for the first time to see Ray Garcia put these guys back on the lead lap, and you see that Gonzalez got a little loose. 99 turned him around a little bit, but to be able to go back out there and give this thing another go. I mean, I wouldn't assume this is a stage win by any means, but this is definitely going to be a good pileup here. As we're taking a quick look at Timothy Pope in the 6th position at this moment in time, pitting on lap 49. So he's going to go ahead and see if he can kind of squeak out a little shorter pit stop here, seeing that he only has to run to lap 60. So 12 laps or so, and then he'll be at the next stage break. So it'll be a lot nicer getting the fresher tires up at this next stop.
The 48 had a fairly sizable mistake entering pit lane. Well, he didn't enter the pit lane, and that's the issue. He just tried to gain a bit too much time and end up braking too late, which meant he had to go another lap, but he lost that momentum after getting on the brakes. So that's not what he wanted. He's going to fall back and ultimately will most likely drop out of the top 5. So, but I mean, he'll be able to rebound. He's got the pace, so it's still a long race. Just needs to be there in the end.
Yeah, that's not bad. And hey, look, and at this point in time, Brian Wasserman, we've been talking about him a lot there in that 50 car. He's leading the lap. So, he's doing a great job. He's staying out front, but he's probably going to have to pit here pretty soon to stay out front, because he knows he's going to have faster cars. And there he goes right there, going ahead and working his way down pit, as I believe Timothy Pope was the one behind him going ahead and running him down. But I'd like to take this opportunity to thank everybody for joining us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, bringing on the big show in the Firecracker 225. But man, this is turning out to be a heck of a race. We haven't seen a whole lot of bumping and banging, but that last wreck, that one was pretty bad. A lot of those guys were getting folded up and bent out of shape there. So really got to keep these things under control. But you just see one little miscue there. I think the 99 didn't think he was that. They were that close to get behind, and then just kind of sideswipe that rear bumper.
Yes, but luckily everyone that was involved isn't going to really lose anything just because of getting all their laps back if they did go a lap down. No damage also, so may seem a lot worse on the broadcast, but in the cockpit it's not as bad as it is, or at least it could have been.
Yeah, as it looks like actually, we'll kind of take a little eyeball here, and I'm not sure if Timothy Pope may retain the lead and get back out in front here, and it looks like he does. Goes ahead and gets back out in front, and right now Chad Waller is in second, which is a 2-second behind him. TJ Krober and Anthony Shook in the top 4. So really, these guys, back toward the back. Michael Wiley in 5th. Jonah Long in 7th, Rutherford in 8th. I mean, yeah, Wasserman, you saw a lead in there. You're seeing how staying out longer is actually kind of costing him. Went from the lead back to 9th position. So Wasserman now 9.5 seconds off that lead pace. And really, I understand these are stages, but you kind of want to be pretty close to being in the front on these restarts for these stages. Do you think, early pit strategy to get you up front, go ahead and taking those 2 tires and sliding up front may be more of a benefit to that way you're not dialed back so far?
You can look at it that way, but another way you can look at it is if you run far into the stint, then you just take it easy for the last part of that little run, just being able to save your tires. Then you might be able to not take tires on when we go under caution, then jump a couple cars in under the safety car caution period, but then you're going to cycle back with old tires. So it's a real gamble on what you really see might be worth taking, but there's going to be some drivers that will be looking at what it is worth it in the end. So still hard to call, but strategies are starting to play out.
Yeah, really not cycling cycling backwards, but cycling forward right now is Landon Gentry. We did see him back there in the 22nd position, is now up here in 13th. And the youngest driver out here, which is Joseph Martin, there in the 15th position. So, he's got to be pretty excited about being able to, get out front. And really instead of hanging there in the back, these guys are working their way up front, as I believe Ray Garcia is kind of looking right there at the rear bumper of Joseph Martin there, but not without Jonathan Byram there kind of looking toward the outside, hanging out there, and may pass him for another position. But really being able to see some of these guys working their way up. I know it's Ray Garcia. He's kind of been hanging in that 13th, 16th area. He may be trying to take his time, or maybe not getting tires as much and saving them for the end, as some of these other guys I hope are thinking about as well.
Pit lane has now been closed, so that's it for pit stops for this stage.
Oh yes, and we got probably about a 2-lap shootout here to get there, but right now Timothy Pope still 1 second in the lead as he is taken off here, really being able to stay out front. So really an exciting run here out of Timothy Pope, going ahead and taking another stage win here, as long as no freak accident happens. He's really, I've seen him dominate a lot of the times coming out here in that 728 machine. This place is really riddled by Chevys here tonight. I believe there are only about 4 Fords, 4 Toyotas, and the rest are Chevys. So a lot of these guys are pretty excited about that Chevy setup that they're running here tonight.
If you have a car setup that feels really good to drive, it's going to give you confidence, and that's going to give you the momentum to be able to carry it throughout the entire race as the stage caution is now thrown.
Ah, there we go. And Timothy Pope once again has taken another stage win. And really, he seems to have this thing almost down to a science. He knows what to do, and he's placing. As long as he keeps doing this, he should have this thing really well under control. And I just wish I could find him out here in the little chat, because boy, I would like him to pull him in here and ask him, you know, really what you know is his philosophy here. How is he know? I mean, we saw him dial it back a little bit and came back and dialed it back, and then just his pit strategy is right now it's just working. He's being able to pit when he needs to. He's getting a good place, and he's getting out there in front with that fresh air, and it's paying off. And I think Anthony Shook is going to have to really kind of have a little chat with his crew chief here about, you know, what exactly can he do at this point to get up front. But we're going to see if I can get one of the other guys in here. Let me see if we can get something. Let's see if we can get Landon Gentry. Landon Gentry, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, bud. I know you're coming in the pit, and we're going to try not to bother you too much here. You know what? We noticed you kind of rolling back there in that 20th position, and now you're up there really in 14th. Are you kind of changing your strategy a little bit to get these moves up toward the front?
Just a tiny bit. I'm thinking on maybe taking 2 tires here on the next stop. Try and make up even more spots, but it's just so hard to pass people on pit stops because they're just so good. They've been practicing all month long. It's so hard to get past everyone.
Okay, yeah, and that's kind of what we've been looking at. Is a lot of these guys, they're almost opting to go ahead and just play it safe and going with 4 tires. And we noticed with another driver out there, Blanca Gonzalez, went ahead and looked like they took 2 tires one time, and that just ended up absolutely taking about a second off their lap time. So, I don't know if have you tried out any 2-tire pit stops so far this race?
Not yet this race. I've taken 4 every stop this race, but I'm thinking maybe taking 2 tires on this stop coming up, but we'll find out here soon.
Okay. Has there been any consideration? Last question. Has there been any consideration of not taking tires on one of these pit stops to have one really toward the end, just in case something, kind of having the upper hand toward the end?
I really don't think that's really an option because tire was just so big on Texas, and you lose way more time than who was it that you said lost time on those 2 stops or those 2 tires?
Yeah, the 2 tires lost about a second on that pit time. Yeah,
no tires would lose probably about 30 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't know if you kind of trash one of these, trash one of the stages to have an extra set of tires in case you end up in a caution there at the end. But I will leave that between you and your crew chief. Appreciate you talking to us, Landon.
Yep.
Yeah, and you see Landon there, he just knows it's not a good idea to not take tires at all there, kind of. And I wasn't sure, man, if it would be a good idea to not take tires. I mean, yeah, definitely the fall off, but man, I like having that little insurance plan right there at the end.
Yeah, just having that bit of flexibility for as we're going to be going 1 to green this time by, so should be going in. Pope is going to want to replicate the past couple stages. Everyone says things are bigger in Texas. He wants to make his bank account bigger after this.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, but Landon, he has won twice, so he is already a Hall of Famer, not once but twice so far. So he's got his name entered more than once in these tracks that have over 100 laps. So he is no... He's very used to winning things like this, and I believe one race he owned all the stages and the wins, and he took home over $200. So, I mean, that's got to be a heck of a weekend, but right now, the weekend belongs to Timothy Pope up here in the lead, hit that Geico restart zone. He is back under green flag and taking off with a commanding restart there, as he's got to be feeling good about that one. It looks like Wasserman, we're going to roll back to him, as he's already looked like he's very carefully and in danger of ended up in the middle of a 3 wide there, so he's got to be careful. As you can see, Landon Gentry doesn't want to hang out there much longer, work his way up to the front. Oh no! As these guys are getting turned around. No! As they are looking like bumper cars. They have got to hold it together. Holy cow. Holy cow, yeah, it looks like Dave Carter may have been the last one who actually squeezed out of that one. Let's see if I can find his car, yeah. Yeah, he may have been one of the very last cars that kind of squeezed out of that wreck. Now, let me see if we can actually roll back to that replay there and see if we can see exactly what transpired of that wreck. Because that was a pileup. That was a pileup right there. And let's see if we can get right about here. Yes. All right.
Whilst Pope was able to get that perfect restart, on the outside, the 88 just wasn't able to get any form of momentum. It took it wide into turn 1 and 2, which then kept him up high as people then pulled down low just to then slipstream by. He's went from 2nd to 6th just from one bad restart.
Yeah, and we're taking a quick peek here at this 10-4 replay. 84 kind of clipping the wall, and Dave Carter just being able to slide by. As you see, just everybody just ricocheting here. As well, man, just... Oh, man. It looks like the 87 of Gregory Ricks kind of clipped the butt end of him there and kind of got him tangled up a little bit, really being able to keep this thing all back together. But I believe if you're saying that Timothy Pope still doing a great job leading this race up here in the front, so he's got to be loving this right here, really where to be and how to plant his line. Now, he doesn't seem to really be under a lot of stress. I've seen him race in a lot of these races, and he's very, very calm, cool, and collected. He knows where to be. If he falls back a couple places, that's okay. He knows that if I take my time, it'll come back to me. He knows it'll be there again, and he'll really be able to work there. As Michael Wiley back behind him again. Oh, man, give him a good push. It looks like Jonah Long has worked his way up back into the 3rd position, doing a great job there. Chad Waller there in the 4th. As Timothy Pope just absolutely taking command of this race. I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing out of him so far. I know normally I pick him as my favorite out here to win. I don't know if it's his paint scheme or his number or anything like that. But it looks like a quick little tie up there. They ended up with Landon Gentry in that one. I'm not sure. Might be able to roll that one back. It looked like somebody got tangled up there. It looks like maybe the 99. Let me see if I can find out what in the world just happened. Because if Gonzalez and the 99 got in it, somebody's going to be repaying somebody for that one. As we can go ahead and go to this 10-4 chopper view. Right there. Yep. 99, and it just kind of gets everybody a little tangled up there. Oh, don't roll up the track. Oh, that is a no-no. Yeah, you want to lock them down. You know, definitely your spotter will be screaming in your ear, lock it down, because you do not want to end up with more damage or totaling more people out on the track. As right now, I believe Kraus is on pit road right now. So yeah, really kind of a bummer there. But back to the leaders, Timothy Pope back still in the lead. Jonah Long worked his way up into 2nd position. Really, look at that, giving him a good push. So I don't think there's any contact at this point, but I'm sure Timothy Pope's going to be trading a little bit of paint with Jonah Long there. But Jonah taking that 1st position. So we now have a new race leader. Timothy Pope, he's seen this before. You'll see he kind of takes his time, goes ahead and waits his turn. But Jonah Long's got a lot to learn, as he's another one of our young drivers out there here tonight, kind of.
He was probably just saving his tires whilst the 2 leaders were fighting, just letting the tires come to him later on in the run, but not pulling away as much as he would like. Still, the 48 is also going to be looking to capitalize as well as Pope.
Wow, yeah, really, Timothy Pope. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Just kind of give him the same little piece there. Get real close, get ready to go ahead and push him on around the track. And doing really a great job there.
48 was able to carry the momentum through 3 and 4. He's going to look to pass, but ends up backing out of it a little bit earlier, just to then let it roll better through the center, but going to lose time on corner exit as Pope looks to the inside of Long.
Yeah, I'm really we're working back there. I'm looking to take a little peek there at Longmire. whatnot, and the guy's working back there. But there he goes, Timothy Pope working his way on the inside again. He does a quick block there to Jonah Long. As you see, jams up and starts that accordion effect working there. Got to be careful. Man, if these guys touch that grass, somebody's going to slide as they dive into turn 1 here. Timothy Pope working south side of 2, pushing his way up front. As you know, Michael Wiley and Chad Waller. He's Waller hanging down toward the bottom, trying to keep that inside line alive. As you see, Jonah Long dives again, once again, toward the inside as they single file it to try to calm this down and get back in line.
I don't know if they're calming it down, especially now. We've passed the halfway mark, so I think it's starting to become a bit more urgent, and drivers are starting to push it, as the 48 gave Long a bit of a bump in the tri-oval, which then allowed Long to look to the inside a couple laps ago, but just wasn't able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, and really, Timothy Pope, like I said, he knows just kind of hang back there, let him get it out of their system, lead a couple laps, and move around. Oh, man, as you can see, Chad Waller kind of almost turns Jonah Long. I don't know if maybe that number 1 button wasn't hit saying he was going to pit, but I know somebody who's already pit is Travis Turnmeyer here. He's already pit, came down along with Dustin Eaton, Jamie Shaw, and yeah, I think that's about it. I think Kim Kraus, the 99 car, I believe that car came down much earlier and was able to kind of salvage the rest of the race here. But really, you kind of starting to see that pit window open. These guys are starting to think, man, maybe time for that touch and go. We're only about, oh man, it looks like Wasserman there almost kind of ate it there, but that was close. But really, Joseph Martin, he's down there. Landon Gentry's pit already. We'll have to kind of keep in mind Gregory Ricks, he hasn't pit yet, and right now he's the only one still in the lead lap in the 10th position. Excuse me, not the only one on the lead lap, the last person on the lead lap, which would be the 10th position, as he's going ahead and working his way around there, back up to 6th, as a bunch of these other guys are pitting. So really here, Kynan, you are seeing this thing kind of mash up and these guys getting together, but we are going to cut away for a commercial real quick, and we'll be right back. All right, and we are back live, taking a little look here at Gregory Ricks. Already worked his way up to the 2nd position. Last time he pit was on lap 62, so a lot of these other guys have already pit. Robert Marl, they're up there in the 70. Excuse me, he pit earlier on lap 79, has now gone ahead and worked his way back. And
Long was able to pull out the undercut to jump Pope and the 66, so that's exactly what the 7 is going to want to see. He's currently got a bit of a gap, so Pope is now going to be playing catch up.
Yeah, and does have about a 2-second lead on Pope there, so yeah, he's going to have to definitely work for it. But I'm wondering if Jonah Long went ahead and took 2 tires. I mean, could you tell if he took 2 tires there, or did he just have one heck of a pit stop?
Well, he got a bump entering the pits and ended up going through the grass, so luckily he got his black flags clear, but he did only take right tires.
Wow, yeah. All right, well, at least he got the black flags cleared, and the only way I can think of doing that right now is, through admin box. And another little shout out to admin box there. Really, it's something really to look into, is getting these, getting an admin box, is these guys, end up in a situation like that where you saw you got bumped, slide through pit road. Do you really want to put the guy a lap down? Do you really want to have him do a drive-through under green flag? It's at the league admin's discretion. And at this point, you see something kind of bad happen, I wouldn't want to put somebody a lap down, and admin box is the way to do it. Don't forget to visit them with our coupon code 10-4-box. That's with 2 X's, and that'll knock that thing down where it's much more affordable for you guys. So don't forget to take a look at admin box as we are looking here once again at Timothy Pope rocking there around in the 2nd position. But do not fear, he's only about a half a second off the back bumper of Jonah Long here as he's reeling him in. So so far, as I'm keeping an eye on him, he already sawed off 2/10 there, so he has that line. He's got the race line, and I'm wondering if just those the 2 laps later pitting may have helped, or like I said, are we just dealing with a set of tire issue? If Long only took 2, but man, really what a battle it is here, Kynan, as they're working their way up front.
Hope might take it a little bit easier, but just as he's got a clearer pace advantage, been running consistently 0.4 quicker, as he is gonna just take it easier just for the time being. Just try to save some tire for the end of the run, but when he wants to go for it, he should be able to get past Long fairly easily.
Yeah, as you see, he does look like he's kind of just biding his time there, kind of hanging out and working his way around. But man, we're on lap 85 out of 90 when the stage break comes out. So in Timothy Pope's mind, you got to know, I got 5 laps to pass this guy. And right now, Krober, Wiley, and Nowoski back there in 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they are starting to saw that time off and they're starting to catch up. So they're only about a second and a half behind. And to me, I'd rather only be in a battle with one guy than a battle with 5 people. So, really, he's got to kind of pick and choose his time here, as I think Jonah Long is probably going to see if he can keep that 728 car behind him there.
Been watching just the last laps that they've been doing. Pope has definitely been taking it easy, but is still only 0.1 slower than the trucks behind, so he's not really being caught and has a clear pace advantage, now being able to save some tires, so he's got no issues. He knows that he doesn't have to worry about the vehicles behind, so I'd say he's going to be perfectly fine.
Yeah, he may just try to give this thing a little push here toward the end, but yeah, it's almost almost in drag racing they call it sandbagging. That almost seems what he's doing. He knows he's got it. He's just kind of waiting his time and going ahead and pushing it around. But we'll roll back here, actually, to Landon Gentry, who's rolled his way back to the 17th position. And I don't know if he's having a... excuse me. Having a little trouble there. We see he's rolled back to the 17th position. And really, he's kind of having a battle to keep this thing up front. But yeah, like I said, our 2 youngest drivers here, 13 and the 9-year-old, in the 18th position behind him. Really, I'd like to see these 2 guys get up front. I'd like to see them get a solid top 10, if not a top 5 here. But I just don't know if maybe some pit strategies coming into play or something like that, working their way up toward the front.
I'm sure in the future, once they got a bit more experience under their belt, experience will be very, very crucial in the long run. So, yeah, it may be a little bit tough right now, but if they just keep holding on to it and developing their skills, they should be able to start pushing for top 5s and maybe even wins.
Man, but as we go ahead and slide up here real quick, Timothy Pope has gone ahead and taken the lead. He looks like he's getting ready to run into some lap traffic, though, as we're coming up on that stage ending. Should be right there. But man, Jonah Long, was definitely trying to gun it and cut him off there, as he is not happy about that one. As Jonah Long was so close to getting another stage win there. But man, what a heartbreaker. And right now, Timothy Pope has put $60 in his pocket. He has won the first 3 stages. This guy has this thing on a rail here, Kynan, and he is just absolutely ripping around the track. And I think maybe he doesn't join the Discord chat or anything like that for me to be able to grab a hold of him and have a little chat with him, because I think, he doesn't want us messing with his mojo right now, because right now he's got this thing working for him tonight.
That is a complete possibility. Some drivers don't like to really have something interrupt their mindset. They get into that mindset, and mid-race, it may be hard to get back into it, so some just may try to step away from any potential distractions, but whatever he's doing, he's gonna want to keep doing it.
Yeah, really, he's doing a great job there, as you see a couple of those lap cars going ahead and working their way back around from that earlier tie-up. And this is what I was saying before, is being able to have that option to get these guys back on track and back up front is really a great thing to have, to get you back on track. But as we see Joseph Martin, looks like Landon Gentry, everybody can go ahead and come down here in the pit and get this thing squared away. I mean, we're having a little bit of trouble trying to get this thing, these guys packed up. We are noticing about 8 laps, real tight, real all together. But then trying to get these things, oh boy. You see Joseph Martin right there as we're taking a peek at him, kind of misses pit box there a little bit, kind of a bummer. But yeah, he's having a heck of a time here tonight, and I want to see if I can get a hold of him and see if we can have a chat with him, because we kind of missed him pre-race. Let's see.
No change for the lead.
Alrighty, there we go. Joseph Martin, you got a copy? Oh no. Man, he keeps messing with me. He may have the Timothy Pope deal. He doesn't want to talk to me. That's all right, bud. But we'll see if we can find somebody who does want to talk to me. Let's try Michael Wiley. How you doing out there, Michael? You got a copy on us?
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. Hey, man, how's the race going out there for you tonight? You placed on the pole. You ran a fast lap, but it seems kind of in the pile up of cars here. How much different is it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Timothy Pope, I don't know what we're going to do with him. I think I'm about second, maybe third fastest on the track, but I ain't got nothing for him. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. Truck's driving good, though. After about 10 laps, it starts going real tight on us, and everybody starts to even out. So if you're going to pick up any positions, those first 6 to 10 laps is where you got to do it.
Okay, so, it's got to happen soon. Okay, yeah, because, man, we're just seeing it. Everybody kind of real close together, real door to door, and then all of a sudden everybody spreads out and starts single file racing. But Timothy Pope does have his car, really on a rail here. Is there any pit strategy changes you've thought about doing to see if you can increase your chances here of, seeing if you can get the upper hand on him later in the race?
I believe I'm on the same pit strategy as he is within a lap or two, but me and him are both taking 2 tires on the green flag pit stops. I think he's just getting in and out of the pits a little bit better. I messed up on one of them and lost a lot of time, but I don't know. I don't think I got nothing for him, honestly. Maybe a bump and run, that'd be about it.
Okay, yeah, we had a little chat with Landon Gentry earlier as well to see if he was going to make it on tires at the end. I wasn't sure if you guys are going to be, just have barely enough, and you guys are kind of scrambling in the last 15 laps or so on your last set of tires. I didn't know if anybody was considering, scrapping a stage and seeing if you had a full set of 4 toward the end to really kind of mix it up with everybody.
Oh no, you definitely can't. You definitely can't scrap a set on these stages. You've got to use them. If not, you're just going to go to the back. Everybody should be good on tires unless we have a bunch of cautions that last stage, and then it might get interesting on tires.
Okay, yeah. We there was one pile up there, probably about 6 or 8 laps in that last stage we all just ran. And boy, it took out about 6 cars. So really kind of rough for some of these. Fortunately, Ray Garcia doesn't run any damage here, and you guys are able to survive such things. I think that would have helped you during the one Indy race you guys ran. But really, great race out there, Michael, and man, I hope to see you really in victory lane, but definitely top 3.
Yeah, I might give it my best shot up here. Of course, that last stage, I've stayed out of the wreck so far, but that's where they're going to happen at if I get caught up in any. But I'll give it my best shot here.
All right, sounds good. And that is Michael Wiley in the 48. Keep it easy, bud. And really, what a blast he's having out there, and really doing a great job staying out front and being able to keep this thing under control. But really, you got to be thinking Jonah Long here on that outside line. He's chomping at the bit to get back out there in front. But, I wouldn't think just out there in front. I think he wants to win a stage. Everybody likes being able to get that little piece, of a stage win. But it's going to come down to that final stage.
Of course. It's all nice to win a bit of extra money, but it's nothing compared to the grand prize to win the final stage. That's where it matters.
Yeah, right now, Timothy Pope, once again, coming up to this restart, the Geico restart zone. He has taken off another great restart, leaving Jonah Long in the dust, but not for long as Jonah Long goes ahead and gets the traction back under those tires. Changes his race line, of course, per rules, after the race, after the start-finish line. He's allowed to move the race line that he started in and is working his way, but does not want to let him get away too far, as we're going to go ahead and roll back here to one of our other favorite drivers of Brian Wasserman. Boy, he is getting tangled up, and what a pile he's got back here. Wow. Yeah, it looks like Charles Fletcher goes in and passes him on the inside, but really, you'll see kind of having to wait for these tires to heat up to get these things under control. But Ray Garcia, we see there in the 13th position, there in that 00 car. But really, what a oh boys, we got one car starting to loosen up there toward the back. Oh boy, is they're bumping and banging around back there. They're kind of biting the wall. I think that was a Marl there. Yeah, that kind of tore up his car. But bam, snap your fingers and the car's back together. What a awesome. But yeah, look at the Wasserman here with that quick little switch up there. We've seen that before. He's tired of hanging on that outside line. He just keeps getting on the wrong restart line he wants to be on. And wants to work his way up. But boy, did you see that? Where Ray Garcia kind of took that inside line and just kind of washed up the track there. Really having a heck of a time.
It's an issue. You try to keep it down low, but you may get a bit of oversteer, and then you've got to just open the wheel up, which will then start to push you up the track. So luckily it didn't cause a bigger incident. And with there being no damage.
Oh dog, as Ray Garcia gets turned around.
Well, I had to say something.
Wow. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that may have been Dave Carter that got on the inside of him there. Yeah, kind of bumped and banged them around, kind of messed them up. Looks like Gregory Ricks got tangled up in a different wreck there. Wow. And Ray Garcia really in the 13th position, doing better than he has been all race. Has now been marched back. Landon Gentry now back to the 21st position. So, I mean, yeah, some of these guys just... terrible turn of events, just being able to get this thing back under control.
Fortunately, even though that did happen, there's still another stage caution, and then when there is a wreck, there will be caution. So, yeah, it may be disappointing and frustrating at the time, but they're not going to really lose anything in the grand scheme. They'll be able to fight their way back up, hopefully. Hopefully not be involved in any more wrecks, and might be there in the end when it matters.
Yeah, and somebody we haven't talked about a lot, Travis Turnmeyer here, is actually up here in the 4th position. Doing a great job working his way up there in the 54 Amsoil machine. Really, you know, I kind of saw him bumbling back there for a while and was wondering if his early pit scheme was going to work or not, but it seems to be doing him a great deal of effect right now as we are coming up with 50 to go in the race itself. We still have another stop at 120 and then the last 30-lap shootout. No one so far we've talked to has considered about taking no tires to see if, you know, if there is a caution with 8 left to go and get a fresh set of tires while everybody else are on the oldies, and, you know, and be able to give this thing one heck of a shootout since they're saying the fall off is so bad. But Kynan, what a job by some of these guys. As we take a look here at Shook, he's actually rolled his way back to the 7th position. It looks like Wasserman, he's rolled up to the 10th position, but he's still got a battle on his hands with that 48 car of Nowaski out there toward the outside.
The 48 still holds on to the fastest lap, but it's all good to be able to do it once, but doing it over and over again. Our current free stage winner, Pope, yes, he's won all stages so far, but he hasn't done the fastest lap. He's still run in the 30 seconds for his fastest. He's just been there in the end and had the consistency to make it matter.
Yeah, well, Nowaski is still with the fastest lap. Does as long as that holds up, that will secure him a $10 payout for having the fastest lap on the track. So really, if he can hold that, it'll do fine. But it looks like Timothy Pope has already lost a spot to Jonah Long. He's now getting challenged by Michael Wiley there on the outside, who says he feels real good and has nothing for him. But that seems to be a different strategy he's running here, because he may have something for him. As you can see, he's kind of riding that rear bumper, playing a little peekaboo right there with the draft behind him. So really, you kind of see different ways of how these cars are running. You know, you see the fall off earlier, fall off later, and I think Timothy Pope is just kind of kind of playing with Jonah Long here, you know, as he goes ahead. Look at him looking on that inside. I mean, just so smooth there, kind of, you know, working his way around. Able to hold it. I mean, I haven't seen Timothy Pope's car kick out at all this race. His car is absolutely as tight and as smooth as it can be getting around this track here tonight.
That's exactly what you want, especially on a track with high tire wear. The second you start to get a little bit of slide, that's just going to start eating away from the bits of rubber on your tire. So you just want to be able to keep your inputs to a minimum, nice and smooth, just so then it's nice and gradual, and then the tire fall off isn't so dramatic and as quick.
Yeah, and you see some, I mean, but you got to admit, there got to be some tracks or some situations, man. I mean, you almost need maximum input because there's just some bad situations you got to get out of. But right now, I mean, these guys are working their way up. Travis Turnmeyer has now worked his way up into the 3rd position. So right now, whatever he's changed or whatever he's feeling or man, whatever him and his crew chief and his team are doing right now is working, as he is absolutely turning into a bullet on this track right now, as he is rolling the fastest time really out of the top 4. He is the fastest truck out there. So he is going to go ahead and duck underneath of Jonah Long, pull up behind Timothy Pope there, and heck, who knows? Right now, the way he's driving, he's got a chance of taking the lead.
Pope seems to have retaliated with it and gone 0.005 quicker, but it makes you wonder, did Turnmeyer burn up his tires on his little charge through the field just then?
Yeah, we'll see, but this would be a good time to see if, you know, to pit with the leader at this point. If he seems to have the groove of this track down and everything going fine, it may be time to do the Timothy Pope strategy. Is go in there, take the tires, the same tires he is, and come out here and try to rip it again, and then see if you can get one of these stage wins away from Timothy Pope, because, man, he's got this thing. He knows exactly what to do, but, man, you know, really, Turnmeyer could use the help from Jonah Long kind of pushing him from behind, because I just don't know. Timothy Pope's truck is just so strong right now. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep, as it looks like the top 4 guys are coming into pit. Jonah Long gets in the back of him. Oh, no. Man, as the 54 car gets a little bite there.
Let's go and a bunch them all up from that incident.
Wow. Yeah, how did Jonah Long fare from that? Yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to cost him on any kind of pit time there, being able to plant that thing. This looks like the 54 car of Turnmeyer will be out in front of him. And it looks like the 54 car will beat Timothy Pope off the line, and we will catch back up with them and see how that works. But right now, let's roll over to Gonzalez, who is in our lead at this point. But as I say, that down pit road we go, going ahead and getting those tires, and we'll see really who can get out there in front. It looks like Robert Amaro, who pit on lap 92, is still out there at this point. But boy, man, as we're taking a look at Krober here, kind of rubbing the back of that 7 car.
Krober was the first person to make the green flag pit stop, so he's definitely been able to pull off the undercut, but how is his tires going to be in the end is the biggest question mark.
Yeah, and that's
2 laps sooner.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to think about is, yeah, you're taking it so much sooner. How will the fall off affect him later on? Because these guys are trying to push as hard and as fast as they can, trying to get this thing around and really be able to get this thing under control. But, man, really great pushing around the track here. And I'd like to see some of these other guys get up there. But, well, let's take a look back up to Timothy Pope and Travis Turnmeyer. The gentleman we have not talked about a lot tonight, Travis Turnmeyer, is now in the limelight. He is the one leading the race right now and doing a great job of it as he is still pushing his way around. As well as Robert Amaro looks like he's in pit, so go ahead. Travis Turnmeyer is going to take that lead and stay out in front, but boy, he is not going to be uncontested at this point with Timothy Pope right behind him pushing his way around. So, man, really a handful here kind of who to expect. Jonah Long, you see, obviously took it from pit road. He's kind of paying for it now, as he's now a second off the lead. Really being able to work his way up. So Nowalski out there having to work his way around. Man, it's just really a battle here. Is Timothy Pope doing the same thing he did to Jonah Long last section? He's going to kind of wait, stay behind him for the next 3 laps, and then pass him and take another stage win.
Right now, he was faster on the last lap and definitely has some pace to left up his sleeve, having qualified second. So he's definitely got the pace, but just playing the long run. Just trying to keep his tires in a good working window so then he can keep that consistent pace throughout the entire run instead of early on.
Yeah, really. And if he ends up winning all the stages and first place here, I mean, he'll be bagging $180 tonight. So really, that's a great thing about the big show is really, the people that donate to the cause for this race and for everybody to come out here and see this. I mean, the big show is always looking for more drivers. They're always looking for talented guys out here, and it doesn't matter what age you are. We got 9-year-olds out here, and I believe we got a few guys in their 60s that are out here just for the love of racing. And I mean, and nothing makes racing sweeter than a little bit of the green cash out there. Being able to get a little bit of that spending money, and then that way you can go get things out there, such as Admin Box, another one, our finest sponsor here at 10-4 Broadcasting. So, it's another thing to keep in mind, but man, what a battle this is. Turnmeyer staying out front, but right now, I mean, how long can he hold on here, kind of?
Right now, it looks like Pope is just kind of toying with him, just trying to take it easy. I say that as he's going to go to the outside. Probably going to try just keep it on the run for the back straightaway. Might be able to carry a bit of extra momentum. As we see now, he will be able to clear the 54 easily, having the lane choice into the turn.
Man, and really just kind of a move there. The 728. Sorry, our producer kind of had a little bit of a hiccup there. Looking at the wrong car. He should have been looking at the 728 passing the 54. Right there, but man, just really a great run there by Timothy Pope, going ahead and getting pushed around, and really not seeing any more tie-ups. I'm just wondering if these guys are just getting so spread apart. I mean, we'll take a look back here. Ray Garcia in the 19th, Landon Gentry in the 20th, Gregory Ricks in the 17th. So a lot of these admin cars kind of hanging toward the back, and I'm just wondering if maybe something's a little miscommunication trying to get all these cars bound up and pushed together. But still, regardless, still a great run by this whole team. These guys set these things up, and they've got to be loving what they're seeing. But, some are just seeming to get the upper hand more than others. As we roll up here to Michael Wiley, who's now rolled back to the 10th position. So we saw him up there in 3rd. Looked like he worked his way up to 2nd and now has dialed it all the way back here to 10th. He did pit on lap 110, and I'm wondering if that's costing him there, as we have come up on the stage break at 120. Timothy Pope once again has taken another stage win. That is all 4 stages tonight. He has taken every single one of them and is doing a great job. And I'm wondering what some of these guys can do to get this thing under control, from Timothy Pope, as he is owning and doing a great job getting around here tonight.
I know I said it earlier, but people say everything's bigger in Texas, but Pope's bank account is going to be looking a whole lot bigger than a lot of other people right now.
Oh, yeah, and he seems to be kind of the underdog. I like seeing, he's not getting in any trouble this race. He's being able to stay out front and getting done what he needs to get done. But really, it seems the key so far is staying out of trouble. I think a lot of these guys in the back just want to give it another run, give it one last push, and you're just not getting that. You're ended up in a bad position too early or too late at this point. We got Wasserman out there in the 7th, Shook in 8th, Patza in the 9th position, and Wiley in the 10th. Just, these guys I know want to get up here into that top 5. They just need that break. Things just keep happening. Bad things keep compiling. It just turns into a kind of a mess here. As we're going to see if we can grab one of these guys as soon as they get finished with their pit stop. I was hoping I'd mess up Landon last time during his pit stop. We're going to try to be real careful this time and see how these guys go, as we got them marching down right there. As we see Ray kind of in the back working his way down pit road. These guys kind of lining up, getting these things squared away. But, man, really, you got to be excited. I mean, I know the end of the race is coming up, but this is where you got to be clutch time. This is where everything matters. Everyone, you've got to be thinking, everyone's got to take 4 tires. Everyone's got to be taking fuel, because you've got to be strong in this last stage to be ready for this windup in the following one. As everybody's filing out here, boy, you can see them stacking up 3 wide trying to get off pit there, as long as no one's getting through. But really, what a brawl there, getting off the line. But we will go ahead and pull Ray Garcia into the booth. Ray, how you doing out there, bud?
Oh, hanging in there. I got tangled up in that last one. I was running in P13, and I got tapped at the back. So
yeah, we did see you and Landon. Y'all have been kind of hanging toward the back, and you just got kind of tangled up in that pileup. I mean, is there anything you can change at this point to get your way up in at least 10th position?
Not really. The guys up front are just too fast. They're just too fast for us. We're trying to catch up, but we're cooking our tires off just trying to keep up with them.
Yeah, Timothy Pope is actually, absolutely fast. He has got a blistering speed out there tonight, and he just seems to have it. And I don't know if it's his pit strategy halfway through or what in the world is going on, but he is doing a great job staying out front. And I just noticed, like you, Landon Gentry, Joseph Martin, just seeming to kind of get the wrong set of cards in your hand at this point. You seem to get faster, you get the right position, and then, man, it's just one thing after another. It just keeps making you guys march back, and it's almost you need a good part of the field to kind of get folded up, and then maybe you guys can get up front.
Yeah, we were taking our time early on in the first couple of stages, just kind of staying around 15 and 16. And then we just got caught up in someone else's wrecks, and that pushed us further back. We worked our way back up. I got up to P13, and then the 416 rammed me in the back and turned me, so that didn't help. And then I took out Landon, and I think Joseph got collected. But, Tim's running a 2-tire strategy, so everybody's converted to 2 tires. And we'll see how this stage plays out, but we still got at least 2 green flag pit stops coming. So it's going to come down to fuel and tires now.
Wow.
No more stage breaks, 2 more fuel stops, and fuel and tires. Now, some of these guys are out of tires already, so that's going to factor in the last 10 laps.
Right. And I knew I was talking to some of the guys about not taking tires at all, and they said that's kind of suicide. I thought maybe, not taking tires on one of these stops and kind of, washing out one of the stages. That way you had enough toward the end, but they told me I was crazy. If you're saying some of the guys don't have tires, I may be right at this point.
Yeah, see, right now, some of these guys, they don't have enough tires. Like, I have 2 right sides and 3 left sides left. So I'm in good shape, but some of these guys are not. Some of these guys have burned up their tires, so we'll see how this goes.
I was going to say, that's definitely going to switch some people up and really get this thing into a mashup here at the end. But we're about 1 to go. Ray Garcia, I hope to see you up there, close to the 10th position. So try to stay out of trouble out there, bud.
Yeah, me and my admins are in the middle, but we're going to stay together. We got 2. We got Jonah Long and Heath Rutherford up in the top 5, and we're just going to try to keep them up there. That's our goal, is to get one of those guys to the finish line.
All right, well, hopefully I can do that. It seems the farther up front you are, the better chance you got.
Yeah, our money right now is on Jonah, but don't count out Heath.
All righty. We will do that.
All right.
Thank you, Ray.
All right. See you in a few laps.
Man. Yeah, Ray, like you said, the cars are just too fast. And Kynan, you got to be thinking, yes, Timothy Pope, he is, man, they're going to check his car after this one. You kind of think everybody's sharing the right setup, but if he's only taking rights this whole time, maybe that is the pit strategy that even Turnmeyer had adopted, why he came from, middle of the pack to working his way up here, battling for the lead.
It's really hard to say, but I'd say what's helped out Pope so much has just been his ability to get good restarts and be able to then just save his tires. We heard it before that tires are going to make a big difference in today's race, so we're seeing it right now.
Wow, yeah, as we take a look at that restart, it looks like Turnmeyer just got turned around. Oh no, look out! And this is the final stage, so we may be looking at a caution here as we still got cars piling down the backstretch. Looks like Dustin Eaton got mashed up there. Wow.
Termire appears to have altered forward.
Wow. There's the caution. Wow, yeah. I was going to say, that was a huge pileup. That was a huge pileup. And we're going to roll that back there and see if we can find how that originated. I saw it looked like Turnmeyer got turned around and then some, I mean, it never stopped. It never stopped. It just kept going. We're going to take a look here at Turnmeyer. Let me see. Yeah, it looks like, let's see. Let's see what we got here. And it looks, Turnmeyer in the 54. Let's get to see what the 88 does. Yeah, I didn't think 88 touched him. But it looked like the net code happened right after that. And then here comes the pileup. 54 kind of bites it there. Spins around. See if we can move up to the 14. You see the 14, he's getting banged around. Yeah, not good. As you just see him, the pileup just continues. 97 gets into him, 77 keeps shoving. Wow, yeah, and then kind of gets another little slap right there, and then everybody's kind of back in pieces. So that was definitely not a good one there, but at least it'll give everybody a chance to get back together. So now what you're going to see is something Timothy Pope hasn't really been a whole lot of, really restarts. As you can see, he's been flawless on them all so far. But you saw in that last restart with Turnmeyer there, was able to give a monster push there toward the end. Is Jonah Long was right behind Timothy Pope and just, pushed him out in front into the lead, which was really a great restart there to be able to get that thing, to get the separation they're looking for. But Michael Wiley up there in the 4th position, I see he's rotated out of the bottom 10 there to work his way up. But speaking at the bottom 10, Landon Gentry, I guess after that good wild pile up there, has moved him to 10th. Ray Garcia, we talked to earlier before, he's now, I believe, in 14th. Yeah, he should be in the 14th position, so he already picked up 5 just off that one. And this is really where your heart gets broken at this point is, you're racing well and things happen. Fortunately, you have these cautions, it's not going to be totaled and you're in the backfield and you're kind of wasted. But, racers like Anthony Shook, back here in the 17th position, just got in a whole bunch of trouble. And now you were up there, you were close to the lead, you were in the top 5, and man, just talk about a wild turn of events to get pushed back here, so just so far. But really, you got to be thinking here. I don't like calling drivers out, about who can win and who can't. But right now, Timothy Pope may be the man to do it. As we are back under green flag once again, as we're going to give this thing another shot. It looks like we are already sliding through the infield. There may or may not be a caution for that. Wasserman 3 wide right there with Landon Gentry on the inside. And somebody we've seen before, looks like Dave Carter. As long as he can keep his truck in one piece and out of everybody else's fenders, we should be in good shape with him running up front as well.
On that initial restart, it looked like Long had just gone a bit of wheel spin being on that high line, so maybe that's been a factor as to why Pope has been able to get such a jump on the restarts, but we might need to catch up with that afterwards.
Yeah, and really give him one heck of a scoot here. As you can see, we talked about before, the youngest driver there in the 12th position, I believe, Martin, Joseph Martin there in the number 17 truck. Really doing a great job. We saw him marching toward the back, but now has worked his way back up front with Gregory Ricks, Wasserman, and Carter in front of him. So, he's surrounded by people that can help him. As you can see, I talk a little bit about Anthony Shook, and here he is, moved his way up to the 13th position. So really, he's moved up all the way from the back. So I don't know if something happened there or just a bad pit stop. But really, he's got that race line right now and is working his way up front.
Michael Wiley was able to get past the 88 and to elevate himself up into third. Gonna be trying to chase down Pope, but gotta look after your tires.
Yeah, he's got to be real careful right there. It looked like Jonah Long got real close to that wall, so he's got to kind of take it easy on these tires. I know this is the final shootout right here, and maybe tires are not becoming that much of an option for some of these guys, and they are for others. But, boy, you can see right here, Jonah Long all in that rear bumper, boy. He does not want to let Timothy Pope get away this stage. As Timothy Pope goes ahead, takes the high side, lets him get around. No issue with that. We've seen this before. But this is the same sheet of music by Timothy Pope. Stay behind him, go ahead and work his way around. But, well, man, Michael Wiley gets a quick little swipe there. Looks like he contacts the rear bumper. And Timothy Pope just going to go ahead and let them go. After winning how many stages so far? 4 stages. And now we're going to go ahead and let them march on by. So maybe he's just going to let it sit back, let these two duke it out, and see if he can capitalize later on here in the race.
Exactly what he's been doing the entire race and every single stage. Doesn't put up too much of a fight and then just rides, saving those tires.
Yeah, really, and what a heck of a job they're kind of doing back there. Being able to kind of keep this thing under control and where it needs to be. We're going to take a little peek back here with Gregory Ricks and see how he's doing, as he looks like he's kind of bumbling around there behind Landon Gentry, trying to make a little more headway here, see if he can get him broken into the top 10. Really, but he's got a few guys in front of him. They're going to be kind of tough to get around. With Landon Gentry, Brian Wasserman, and Dave Carter. Really just a hard battle here toward the front as I'm getting ready to see what in the world happens here if these two are going to definitely put it, as it looks like Anthony Shook. I mean, once again, he is moving. I mean, look how fast that car is. He is scooting around this track right now, doing a great job of just being able to pick and choose where he wants to be. Placement-wise, he was back there in 19th, has already worked his way back up into the top 10, doing a great job. As you can see, we're going to rotate back up to Timothy Pope, still in the 3rd position, hanging out behind Michael Wiley, which you can see, he's getting antsy. He's kind of swerving, kind of moving around, behind Jonah Long there. And would it, kind of at this point, would it be wise to see if Michael Wiley goes high and Timothy Pope goes high as well, and they kind of let Jonah Long march his way toward the back?
Right now, I've been paying attention to Wiley's driving style. It seems he's been doing a similar thing to what Pope has been doing and just trying to save his tires. Just taking it easy, not trying to cause anything just yet. Just trying to set himself up for the long run.
Yeah, but they got it. We're guaranteed at least one more pit stop. These guys have to pit one more time, and this guy could be the change of the entire race. If Timothy Pope goes in and slides past his pit box, that will be a 2-second ordeal to get back into your pit box, and 2 seconds could cost him, as right now 2 seconds would probably knock him all the way back to 8th place if he were to come back out. So really, these guys, it's crunch time. It's got to happen. With 13 laps to go, you see the top 4 here all within a second as Jonah Long gets kind of rear-ended by Wiley there, misses pit road again. So really, I don't know if maybe something's not happening or a communication issue is happening, but that is multiple times that we've seen him getting rear-ended, sliding into pit there. I know there are kind of call-outs you can make, letting people know, hey, I'm heading down pit. But I don't know if these guys just aren't tuning in, because last thing you want to do is ruin somebody's race. So you've got to be very, very careful, as Timothy Pope now off by Michael Wiley by half a second here. So really, as I say that, Timothy Pope goes ahead and retains the lead and goes ahead and keeps on going. But,
Wiley's going to try to pull a wild card move.
Yeah, is Timothy Pope one of the guys that doesn't have tires? So we'll have to keep an eye out. Eric Nowitzki there in the 48 car, or 48 truck, is still running, has the fastest track time right now, still with that 29.85. And Timothy Pope going ahead and looks like he's bringing down pit, and I think everybody was kind of waiting on him. He seems to be the leader and knows exactly how to hold this thing down and keep it going. But Wasserman, not sure if this is working for him all race. I know he's been trying to keep this thing all in one piece toward the end here, but he's got to pit kind of. Personally, I think he's got to pit now. He cannot let can't stay out there too much longer while Timothy Pope and Jonah Long are running as fast as they are.
Another person as Long manages to get past the 48, but will start to struggle with tires. Wiley is going to be a contender for the end. Going to undercut Pope most likely. And with Long being in front, he's going to just be able to get that draft and instantly be pulled up as he easily clears Pope.
Yeah, really something to keep in mind is Anthony Shook out there right now in the 4th position, trying to hang on, as it looks like he's starting to slide back. Heath Rutherford goes ahead and moves his way up in the 5th position. But really, like I was saying, he was back there in that 19th position, up here in 6th. I mean, so if he's got that kind of speed, you know, or has he saved tires here toward the end, this may work out for him. As you see Jonah Long out there still leading. Where in the world is Timothy Pope? Looks like he's behind Anthony Shook here. Really something, I'm wondering if he had to get all 4 tires or something happened here, because he is back in the 5th position and not exactly where you would expect to see him this late in the race.
I'd say he just left it 1 lap too long. Wiley, I'd say, called it perfectly. He's going to be able to use that extra bit of pace he has on Long, get him towards the end of the race, and be able to undercut Pope, just being able to have that bit of extra pace for that little bit longer. Unless Pope can save enough tyre and be able to close the gap, I'd say this is now Wiley's race to lose.
Yeah, and really getting a good race here, as we can see Timothy Pope kind of poking in the back there. He's only behind by a second now off Jonah Long's rear bumper, so he's got a little bit to go. He's got about 7/10 to make up to catch up to Heath Rutherford, but do not put it past Timothy Pope. We've seen him kind of do this sheet of music before, but we are 7 laps to go, so he's got to make these moves now and really start marching up the track, as we got Jonah Long, Michael Wiley, and Heath Rutherford here in the top 3. But yes, you are correct, Kynan, with Michael Wiley up here in that 21 car. Well, excuse me, am I wrong? I believe that's the 48. Man, I must be cross-eyed at this point. Getting that one wrong, as Jonah Long in the 7 is really rocking it up front. But there he is, Timothy Pope, only 0.8 of a second behind. But these laps are ticking off, Kynan, so we are running out of time for Timothy Pope to get the clean sweep tonight.
A driver that has kind of been a bit under the radar, that I was trying to pay attention to but end up losing track of him, is our 3rd place driver, the 98 of Rutherford. Started 9 positions further back, managed to slowly make his way up. He was the fastest in practice and is now there when it matters. He's gonna, even if he doesn't get past these 2 in front of him, he's gonna be happy with finishing in the top 5 with where he started.
Man, it's almost you can almost feel the panic in Pope's driving right now. He has got to get the rear draft of Rutherford here to start reeling him in, and he gets it right there as he shaves off another 0.2 on that turn. So the aggressiveness meter is turned up at this point. He is going to go ahead and reel them in. So now let's see if Timothy Pope, who pit on lap 141, is going to go ahead and try and make his moves up front, but he is running out of time quick. We only have 3 laps to go before the completion of this race. Jonah Long, Michael Wiley, Heath Rutherford, Timothy Pope, and Eric Nowaski, they're in your top 5. But man, really, your fastest guy on the track in 5th position, as Timothy Pope looks like he slides it toward the outside and seeing if he can get a little peek, but no dice, not this time, as he has got to pass 3 drivers in a matter of 3 laps, or 2 coming up on the line. So really, here we go, as Timothy Pope taking that peek to the inside. Little door draft, little grabbing of Michael Wiley right there. All right, now you see Timothy Pope in the 3rd position, 2 to go. Kynan, take it away, bud.
Who says Texas can't be good racing? I mean, whoever says that clearly isn't seeing what I'm seeing right now, as Pope is just trying to find any form of grip, looking to the inside, just trying to carry as much momentum in the mid-corner as we come to grab the white flag. Long leads the race, followed by Wiley, then Pope. The person who has won and basically dominated the entire race in 3rd, has the pace, but it's one thing catch, but it's another to pass as Long is going to try to carry the momentum on the outside, is going to be able to get alongside Wiley coming into 3 and 4. Long should be able to hold this off now. Just a matter of who's going to be able to take second. Wiley's going to be able to keep it down low and be able to hold off Pope and take second. Long somehow manages with the undercut to snag the win.
Wow. Wow. Right there. What a run there toward the end as we have the checkered flag down. Jonah Long is your winner tonight. I mean, yeah, you can see he just got past so many times on some of these stages and was able to capitalize right here at the end by pit strategy. He pit 2 laps earlier than Timothy Pope, and Timothy Pope paid for it, but he did not give it without a running try to get that thing reeled in to see if he could get this thing, scrambled down as they were getting ready to burn this thing to the ground. Holy cow, look at him flying through. Jonah Long in the 7 car. I mean, wow, what a blast. And here at the big show, everybody kind of greets you with a nice fender bang and, hood fold or a quality concussion. But it looks like Wasserman's kind of enjoying it with him. I believe Wasserman this may or may not be his first race. Don't put my word on that, but man, really, what a great race by these guys tonight. And yeah, Kynan, you got to be thinking, man. I didn't think it was going to end like that, and really, what a brawl that ended up becoming there toward the end.
Just good old classic hard racing. They were giving each other not much space, but it was enough that it was respectful, and ultimately pit strategy won. It's one thing to catch someone, but it's another to pass. That's something Pope unfortunately had to deal with just from staying out 2 laps longer than Long, just wasn't able to capitalize on it. So fantastic job to Long to be able to pull out that pit strategy and just decide to take the gamble on pitting early. It worked out for him, and he's getting the big payday now.
Yeah, yeah, he's got to be excited about that. Seeing how that turned out and how that went. That could have been, it could have been a lot worse there right toward the end. But really, these guys being able to make things happen and keep this thing all in one piece right there toward the end. I mean, I thought for sure these guys were really going to start pushing, or if Wiley was going to try to turn him around, but he didn't, and you got to applaud him for that. And we're going to go ahead and see if we can get Michael Wiley in here into our booth. Michael Wiley, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Man, you called it top 5. How about second place?
I'll tell you, I made a big mistake that one stage. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I took 4 tires on a green flag pit stop instead of 2. Thought I killed my race, but I was able to fight back. Man, how about Jonah Long beating Timothy Pope? I was doing everything I could to hold Timothy off. I knew he was coming, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun. I'll take second all day to Jonah.
Yeah, I think if Timothy Pope had another 5 laps, he may have had it. I'm not quite sure what happened to try to get, for him to fall off there. But man, him winning every stage, but it's always the final stage that matters. As you come in second tonight, we'll stay on you, man. You did a great job tonight, and I think you stayed out of just about every single really incident there tonight. You didn't get tangled up in too much, but you were kind of in the middle of the pack. I know you didn't want to be there. What did you change? Was it just pit strategy that you changed?
I tried to stay on the same pit strategy. Ray knows, usually if there's trouble, my truck finds its way in it. But I think that's the first big show ever that I haven't been involved in a wreck. So I don't know. I just drove it hard. 1 and 2 that's where you made it or break it right there. I was able to get through there pretty good all race, so I'll take it.
Okay, cool. So so the pit strategy was really to take only right side tires and make this thing just kind of hook and get around.
Yeah, on the green flag pit stops, right side tires, it just made the truck loose, but it made it turn really, really well. When I messed up and took 4 tires and everybody else took 2, they actually pulled away from me, so I thought my race was done there. But I gained 4 spots on the green flag, and we had a quick caution, and it was just let her eat from there.
Man. Yeah, I was gonna, and another thing to keep in mind, man, you take second place, so that's a $50 payout tonight.
Hey, I'll take it. I love this league. I'll probably donate all that straight back to Ray for the next race, but I like it.
Okay, again, I was gonna say, donate it back in, and yeah, really kind of keep this thing going. And it's nice to see. I mean, I know some people, man, money's everything. You got to collect it and keep going, But man, this should definitely be a good one in the book here for you. Being able to keep this thing together. I mean, this didn't end up like the Indy race we saw, and you did so well, and then, man, people just started folding you up and breaking you to pieces. So, you staying out of trouble. This has got to be one in the book and one to remember. So you may want to save a replay of this one and go back and watch it.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Big thanks to Ray Garcia and all the admins. I know it takes a lot of work and a lot of money to put these things on. As long as he has me, I'll be a part of it.
All right, Michael Wiley, our second place finisher. Great job tonight, and we'll let you get back to celebrating.
Thank you, guys.
Man, really, what a blast you see there with these guys being able to get around the track here. It's just what an insane race here, Kynan, and the ones you don't expect are the ones that end up doing real well. Sometimes you get caught up with kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. You get caught up in some of the other wrecks of what's going on in the race, and then you get stuck where you don't want to be, or you end up doing a heck of a lot better than really what you expect. But somebody who did a great job tonight, who got unfortunately overturned by other stages, takes home the win tonight, and that would be Jonah Long, one of our young drivers out there. Jonah, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, Kynan was blown away. He kind of thought Michael Wiley might have had you, but you were able to hold him off. What was the secret to your to securing this win here?
It was just doing the same thing I was doing during the week, just letting off completely in 1 and 2, let the nose rotate, and then just full on gas out. Me and Michael, we were working together, so he was working on holding off Tim, and so was Heath. Michael during the race, he was saying, "You ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing on Tim. You do." He was just gonna hold him for me.
Man, and really, that kind of teamwork worked out for you, because I mean, the last stage, he kind of held you there, and then the last 2 laps, he'd overtake you. Dang, another stage win loss. But you've got to talk me through what in the world was going on with pit entry tonight. I think I saw you got rear-ended not once but twice tonight, sliding in the pit and kind of missing the entry. What in the world was happening?
I got hit every single time during the stage going into the pits. So 4 times.
Yeah, it was just a miscommunication issue. Did people not know you were coming in? Or, I mean, everyone knows you're fast and they got to follow you, but what in the world kept happening?
And some of them I didn't call it out. I probably should have. I thought I had a big enough gap, but didn't. One of them I did call out and got hit anyway.
Yeah, I guess everybody just kind of sticking to you like a magnet, because if you and Timothy Pope are fast, the last thing I'd want to do as a racer is to lose you. So, you got to kind of attach to that bumper and stay stuck around all race. But, really, did you find that only taking right side tires was really going to, win it for you tonight?
Oh, yeah. It almost drove better with 2 right sides during the stage.
Really? Okay, yeah, because I heard that from a lot of guys, is taking 4 was actually slower than guys who only took right sides, and that's not just pit speed. It was overall speed on the track. I mean, is that the same thing you were finding out?
Yeah. Mid-race, during the race, at the start, I was doing the 4-tire strategy. It wasn't really working. Tim and everybody else was running away in the pits from taking 2. I was gaining a little bit, but not a lot during the fuel run. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to take 2, and it worked really well.
Yeah, really, you guys did a fantastic job there, being able to get that thing together and really, push this thing right there toward the end. And I believe that goes ahead and secures you for the $100 winner's purse tonight. I mean, you got to be. you come in, you don't you expect you want to win, but you don't expect to win, and that's always how I find that some drivers out here are pretty humble about that. But you seem to have a confidence about you that you knew you were going to go ahead and bring this win home tonight. I saw you playing with Timothy Pope a whole lot out there, and it just seemed like you were kind of waiting on your time to strike, and the final stage is definitely the time to do it.
Oh yeah, it's always the time to strike in the final stage because that's when it really matters.
Yeah, and once again, a great job there, bud. And I know I didn't ask Michael Wiley, but man, go ahead and give me the shout-outs, and we'll let you get back to celebrating.
My shout-outs for helping me win this race. Everybody that was in the Discord with us in the Big Show admin team, especially Michael Wiley and Heath Rutherford and Ray Garcia and Landon. It was great.
All right, Jonah, and another... I know it may be kind of weird, but man, give us what is your age out here winning this race?
16.
16. Okay, so I think somebody said you were 15, so you're almost of legal driving age at this point. You had a 9-year-old out there racing with you tonight, and Landon at 13. So we like seeing the youngsters coming up and kind of giving people that age range of where everybody is. So like I said, Jonah, great race tonight, and we will see you next month, bud.
Thank you, Patrick.
Man, and kind of really what a blast it was here tonight to see, what these guys could do. Ray putting on the Firecracker 225 here at Texas. I mean, you couldn't ask for more. Being able to get this thing all in one piece, and just what an absolute blast this ended up becoming right here toward the end.
People were probably a little bit anxious hearing it was going to be Texas. Oh, it's going to be a boring race. It's going to be no passing or anything. But when under the right conditions, any track can be good. So maybe not say something is going to be terrible without letting it fully go into tuition. Because with the different corner bankings just providing that little bit of difference, it meant that tires came into a lot more effect than some people may have expected. But then there were some drivers that expected it, and those drivers likely would have been Pope and whoever else did well. But either way, great work to be able to start from 15th, and when it mattered, managed to pull out the win.
Yeah, really a great job, and it just takes driving style, skill, and everything else to really get this thing planted and really where they want to be and when they want to be there, and just another fantastic job put on by the Big Show here tonight. We appreciate everybody coming and seeing us here at 10-4 Broadcasting, sponsored by Admin Box. Go ahead, check them out on Facebook and on their website, 10-4-Box. With 2 X's, that gets you the coupon code. That way they know you heard it from me. That'll knock that thing down to 125. You've got to have one. And as always, Patrick Morrison here, broadcasting with you. Kynan Jones, my right-hand man here, getting it done here tonight at the Big Show, the Firecracker 225. We will see you all next month for the Big Show. Keep a look out for the Big Show on Facebook and on Twitter, I believe, to find out when their next schedule's coming up, and they will get this thing squared away for you. That way you can be part of the next race. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.